10 February 2026. Right, guys. Now we are in update. Yeah, to discuss today. So today's discussion is gonna be a bit longer. It's gonna be a bit longer than usual because my comments, because to discuss a very important issue. Constitutional amendment. Iyo ichiripa bill stage, right? Ichiripa bill stage. So zvairi kuita, I will start by playing this video. I think you guys remember this video. Raive richitaurwa na President Emmerson Mnangagwa that he is a constitutionalist and he will follow or abide by the constitution.
Terms. And these three definite. And I'm so democratic. When they come to an end, I'll step aside and my party will elect my successor. That is as clear as day.
Right. And Murupanzo Varikuti, he is a constitutionalist. Avari kuona munhu achange achitaura kuti panoda kuwedzerwa here term extension or whatever. Iye aritaura kuti no, ZANU-PF choose the next president, and we are expecting that to happen next year in 2027, which means by the end of this year we must be able to know kuti ndiani achaita the next president, according to what he says here. Right. Those
who have other imaginations, it's a democratic society for people to dream. But facts will take the day. It's not imaginable that there is anybody in the country who can push it.
And why there is nobody in the country that can push me. And saka asi tiri kuona panapa kuti paitiwa vaZiyambi Ziyambi vatota table already. He has tabled the bill cabinet kuti iite approve this, and zvichaitika ndezvekuti I'm gonna summarize what he is going to do ku constitution yedu, the constitution of the country of Zimbabwe. So on 10 February 2026, Zimbabwe's cabinet backed a draft constitutional amendment bill presented by Justice, Legal and Parliamentary Affairs Minister Ziyambi Ziyambi, which proposes sweeping changes to the nation's supreme law. Government's officials say the measure aims to enhance political stability and strengthen governance, but critics argue it would extend President Emmerson Mnangagwa's time in office, dilute democratic accountability, and remove checks on executive power. Right. And Murubaona, constitution yave kuzochinjwa, but already the process yekuchinja constitution yacho iri kunzi haisiri correct. Let's hear what it says. At the heart of the reform package is a proposal to extend the term lengths for both the presidency and parliamentary terms from the current 5 years to 7 years. Under the existing constitution, President Mnangagwa, first elected in 2018 and re-elected in 2023, would be constitutionally required to step down in 2028 after serving 2 terms. The bill's the extension of term duration and the mean that if enacted, Mnangagwa could remain in office until 2030, effectively lengthening his tenure without an intervening election under current rules. And according to what we have watched in that video, he is not going to be persuaded. Otherwise, he will persuade the persuaders not to persuade him. Those are Taura Apo. So, A second fundamental change is the proposal to change the method of electing the president. Instead of Zimbabwe's largely direct popular vote system, the amendment would have the presidents elected by a joint sitting of parliament, National Assembly, and Senate. In practice, this would mean that the ruling party's parliamentary majority would almost certainly determine the presidency, reducing direct public influence in choosing the head of state. But we know why this is happening, because remember that my elections are not necessarily winner, and the campaign and all those things, we know from history that this is very, very, very tough. And for Emmerson Mnangagwa, it's very tough. Because this thing, so the bill also includes structural reforms to key institutions that critics see as diminishing democratic checks and balances. Right, changes are very drastic. Increasing presidential influence in the legislature by allowing the president to appoint additional senators, expanding the size of the Senate, and reinforcing executive control. Transferring responsibility for the voters' roll from the Independent Electoral Commission to the Registrar General, raising concerns as electoral transparency and impartiality. Altering the role and oversight of traditional leaders, potentially allowing them to participate in partisan politics by repealing existing constitutional restrictions. Other institutional tweaks, such as recognizing judicial interviews and oversight, build what critics say is an investment of power in the executive branch. Right. So, the controversy has also highlighted tensions within the ruling ZANU-PF party. Some factions are reportedly uneasy with the changes, citing historical precedents where internal power struggles sparked instability. People like Constantino Chiwenga, a retired army general and vice president, has publicly criticized aspects of the extension agenda, warning against repeating past mistakes associated with succession crisis. As of now, the bill must be formally published, introduced to parliament, and debated. Given ZANU-PF's strong majority, proponents believe they can pass the changes, but legal challenges, political pushback, and potential calls for a referendum could shape Zimbabwe's legal and political trajectory in 2026 and beyond. And Murugona, Saka, it's just a bill. It has just been tabled. Chirikudiwa chi ma debates acho. Ma debates aya, remember kuti achano clasha ne team Chiwenga ndo pachaita nyaya apo. Let's wait and watch and see how this transpires. Right. Truda kuinda pane imwe, let me see if I can get that. Tuona kuti susu tinga discuss here. Pane ma comments here apa tuone. Guys, isai ma comments tuone, because toda kuti nyaya iyi kai ti discuss pano pa platform pano apo. Muise ma comments enyu tuone kuti chi chatinga discuss nai. Ande tuone kana pane vane ma comments. Mira ndori comments. Any comments? I'm just waiting for those comments to come. But this issue has been tabled already. Mazvono. Saka ngatitarisei tuone zvimwe zvinhu zvichachinjwa. In summary, I want to summarize it. Right. Presidential terms would be increased by 5 years to 7 years, which would allow President Mnangagwa to remain in office until 2030. That's one. 2, the term of office for both president and members of parliament would also be extended from 5 years to 7 years. The president would no longer be elected by directly by Zimbabwean voters through national elections, but instead would be elected by parliament. If the sitting president dies, resigns, or is removed from office, parliament would choose the next president rather than the vice president automatically taking over. Right, and we know why this is happening. Responsibility for voter registration and managing the voters' roll would be moved from the Zimbabwe Electoral Commission to the Registrar General. The constitution would also be amended to change how the role of the defense forces is described, instead of stating that the military must uphold the constitution. Muchiri kuziva 212 ne213 dziya dzakashandiswa paya ndo dziri kunzi akusisina dzoda kubviswa. So to avoid another coup ndozvikuitika apa. So it would say they must act in accordance with the constitution, a change that critics argue weakens the military's constitutional duty. If the amendments are approved, chiefs and village heads would be allowed to openly support and get involved in politics. The bill will also remove public interviews when appointing judges. This means judges could be selected without the process being open to the public, which may reduce transparency and accountability in the justice system. Guys, apana makomens and because I know it's late. That's why I didn't